Hi there, it's Dr. Lisa and Dr. Britt.
Hi guys.
And we're outside the practice at
We
Errol Street
are.
Chiropractic. Today we're talking aerobic exercise and what sort of aerobic exercise should you be doing if your lower back can get a bit cranky or a bit sore. So we're going to go through that today.
Yep.
So what we're seeing at the moment are a lot of people wanting to exercise because they've got more time.
Yeah.
And they're perhaps not doing the right thing by their body, and they end up in here
Yes.
with that sore lower back because they've overdone it.
Yeah.
We've got a motorbike. Did you want to Uber Eats, Dr. Bruce?
No, I didn't. He's
No.
very slow.
So we're going to find out. Dr. Britt's really going to go through some great ways to help that lower back in terms of not aggravating it
Yeah.
through some aerobic exercise. So she's going to give you some tips there. And but before we do that, I just want to run through, because when we say exercise, a lot of people think it's just running or it's just doing some push-ups, and you do your 100 push-ups and you've done your fitness is up to speed, you're all fine. When we're talking about exercise, we're talking about aerobic exercise, we're talking about strengthening your body and balancing that body, and we're talking about stretching. So we really need to incorporate all of those in our exercise if we are exercising properly, okay? Because you don't see those footy players or those athletes just running, and you don't see that they stretch at the end, or that they are doing Pilates as well.
Yeah.
So that, it's really about getting that balance. But we're talking about lower backs and aerobic exercise today. So not to aggravate that lower back.
Yeah.
And people are at the moment, perhaps not getting to their practitioner as often, or their chiro, osteo, physio, whoever, as often. So what should they be looking at in terms of getting into some exercise aerobically so they don't aggravate themselves?
Yeah. So with aerobic exercise, the main aim is to increase that heart rate to get the most out of it. So it's aerobic is looking at more of that cardio fitness. So increasing that lung capacity, looking at using your fat and burning fat as an energy source, in helping your cardiovascular health and all those great benefits. But it is that thing that we need to balance it with some of that stretch and some of that strength as well. But in terms of the cardio exercise that you should be looking at, if you have had a history of lower back pain, or do tend to get a tight lower back, is everyone's doing it at the moment, is just going out for your walks every day. But to actually get the most out of those walks is actually doing it at a brisk pace, using those arms to actually increase your heart rate as well. I actually have seen some people put some little weights in their hand. So don't be embarrassed to do that, because if it means that you can actually get your heart rate up and get some benefit from your walks, then that's the main thing as well. And going for a period of time, going for 30 to 40 minutes for a walk is better than for going for a small stroll. That's the thing, you've got to look at it that it's all well and good to go for a walk, but you need to do it at a pace that will actually give you some benefit as well.
And what about running? So you want to watch that lower back.
So I'd probably suggest starting with more interval training if you're going to get into some running, or if you have previously been doing some running but your lower back tends to flare up. I find doing a mixture of, there's a good kind of way of doing it, 2 minutes of walking, 2 minutes of jogging, and then depending on where you're at, if you feel like that's enough for you at that point in time, just alternating that for a period of time, and then doing the rest of your time outside walking. If you feel like you are starting to benefit from that jog, then you can actually then spend another 2 minutes where you try and go at a faster pace, so a sprint type pace. You don't have to go full gung-ho in that 2 minute sprint, but that's a good way of helping you build your pace up and your stamina in terms of running as well. So 2 minute walk, 2 minute jog, and then if you feel inclined, then you can spend another 2 minutes doing increasing your pace of that jog, and then just doing that as many times through as you feel comfortable. So I just tend to say build on that. So you might do 3 lots of that one day, and if you're feeling good the next day, you might be able to increase it. But it's important to also have rest days, so you shouldn't be running every day. And look, some people's bodies can find that really good and no issues. But I find for a lot of people who have had lower back pain or lower back issues, running every day doesn't help because it really tightens up those lower back muscles and your glutes, and you start to get some of that pulling and inflammation.
And maybe doing some on those in between days, you can use body weight to do some aerobic exercise, and that might mean doing a bunch of squats.
Yeah, it's important
or
you do get
lunges,
that.
or using things like your TheraBand to assist in your workout.
Yeah.
So there's lots of things you can do and get your heart rate up, and you don't really need to run. So you know, you can look those up, you can ask us, we can help you out with some of those
And
as well.
putting a mixture of core stability, glute stability in as well to help strengthen your lower back. And also that's a good way of getting some fitness up as well. There's heaps of core stability exercise and glute exercises that actually increase your heart rate if you're doing them at a good intensity.
Yes,
as
you've got to be
well.
very mindful when you're doing all those things. So start really slow, you know, making sure the next day you're kind of getting up, feeling okay. Then you might want to add to that running or that body weight kind of exercise, that mobility exercise. You can still get your heart rate up, but it's really important to keep moving, especially in this time where we're stuck inside, and also for you guys to know we are open. If there is anyone that gets really stuck, then you know, just give us a call and we would love to help you. But also any questions, we're more than happy to answer those too.
And I think the other thing I've known, especially if you are going out and doing more of a run, then try and find an oval or a track near you that you can start on, because concrete and, you know, the road can be quite unforgiving on your body, so it's quite a harsh surface and it loads your spine. So it is good to start more on an oval, and that's a good way of doing more interval because you've got that length of space that you can do a run and then you can do a walk down and you can, you know, chop and change to that. And that's a nice way of starting as well. And just make sure at the end of your cardio session that you give yourself 10 minutes or so just to stretch it out. It's important that after you've been, you know, at that high intensity and got the heart rate up, that you do some cooling down for your body so that you actually don't pull up as sore the next day as well.
And getting those good runners on, making sure you're hydrated, that really helps you during your exercise but also with your recovery as well. Yeah, I think that's great. There's lots of great advice there. And well, thanks for joining, guys.
Thank
I can't
you.
quite see what
and contact us if you know you're in the process of trying to get a bit of a routine with your exercise, and you want a bit of help, or you got any questions. We're here to help you.
There might be a question.
Royal Park, that's a great place to start because there's heaps of tracks along there. There's some grass. It's good to do a brisk walk. So that's really good advice, Jeff.
Jeff? Okay, thanks, Jeff. Can we see you, Britt? I've brought it too close. Sorry, guys. I've given you all a headache.
But if you need any assistance or any help or any further questions from what we talked about today, just send us a message. We're here for you guys during this time as well.
All right. Thanks again, guys. Take care.
See you.
Bye then.
Bye.